Hey YouTube, welcome to Kitchen Kobolds. This time I'm in front of the camera and Mimi's holding the camera.
Sup?
Because we're going to try and do something in the kitchen. It's a little more complicated than my last apartment, because my last apartment the kitchen was such like a hole that I could just film the whole kitchen by leaving the camera in one spot. But anyway, today, since it is the day after Thanksgiving, we're going to be doing a video about something you can do with some of your Thanksgiving leftovers. Obviously sandwiches are delicious, but after a while there's only so many turkey sandwiches you want, and you might want to mix it up a little bit. So I'm going to be making something my mom used to make called turkey tetrazinni. The recipe is actually originally from the Betty Crocker cookbook, but it is a little bit modified. In here it's called chicken tetrazinni. What are you laughing at? Yes, I say a lot. Deal with it.
This turkey, it's delicious,
Anyway. She's just gonna make me self-conscious of my speaking patterns the whole video.
Yes, I am.
Mimi's been drinking already, so
derp,
it's gonna be entertaining. Anyway. So, what you need for this, if you want to pan the camera over at away.
Ignore the cleaning solution, you don't actually need that.
No, that's just there for kicks. So, you need about 7 ounces of spaghetti. Often you can get regular spaghetti in 7-ounce packages. In that case, you want to break it into thirds. Today we're using some egg noodles.
No yolk egg noodles.
Yes, the No Yolks brand egg noodles. They are quite delicious.
Let me pan over to them. No,
they're right over there, babe.
Oh, they're hiding behind the Tegan.
Yes.
Tegan stuff.
Yes.
So this is the brand we were using. These are frickin' delicious and amazing.
They're quite good. Okay, then we need a 1/4 cup of butter or margarine, which is half a stick.
We use butter because it's delicious.
Half a stick. Then a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. I like the, what is it, King Arthur brand?
Yeah, King Arthur brand.
But this is some like organic stuff.
Yep, this is an organic stuff from my local cooperative that I like very, very much, and I support them fully.
Yes. Then we've got a half teaspoon of salt.
And pepper.
A 1/4 teaspoon of pepper.
They're both right here.
Yep.
Look at them. Look at them.
Hey, look at us with our fancy ingredient cups.
Yep.
We've got 1 cup of chicken broth and 1 cup of whipping cream.
All together in this one lovely measuring cup.
I went ahead and mixed them together because they get added at the same time, and if you have just a 2-cup, measuring thing, then it's a nice easy way to measure it ahead of time. Then you need 2 cups of the turkey, which of course I'm sure you'll have plenty of. You want to cube that up about the size you see here, and then
the turkey.
Measure it. It was quite good. If you want them, you can also add about 4.5 ounces of sliced mushrooms. I don't really like mushrooms, so we're not going to bother with them. And then you want about a 1/2 cup of grated Parmesan cheese, which is that stuff right there.
We just got the kind that, comes in a jar. We're lazy. We don't feel like grating. What about the sherry?
Oh yes. How did I skip over that? So then you also need 2 tablespoons of dry sherry.
Or
you can substitute water if you don't have sherry. I have done it with water pretty much every time I've done it before now.
But we decided to try sherry today.
Yes, we decided to give it a shot, see what happens. So yeah, that is all the ingredients. Next, if you want to pan over to the oven, you've got to preheat it to 350.
The ovens.
You can see there, 350. It's about 350. And then
Loch Ness Monster asked for 350.
I've got 2 different pots here. It recommends cooking the actual stuff in a 2-quart saucepan. These saucepans are nice because they actually come labeled with how many quarts they are. Then I'm also going to be cooking the noodles in this big old pot right here, which is a little big for what we need to do, but it was the one that was clean, so I'm going to start putting some water in there. Okay, so the basic idea with this is that we mix the, we melt the butter, and then we stir in the flour, the salt, and the pepper. Isn't there some fancy word for that?
Yes, when you mix flour and butter together in a pot and you toast a little, that is called a roux. And there are different levels of roux. There is a white, blonde, and a brown roux. All of them are varying degrees of how well they've been cooked.
See, she knows all this crazy technical cooking stuff. I've just been doing this all my whole life as, oh look, you melt this stuff together and it works.
Yeah, this is the thickening agent which makes the sauce.
Okay, so I believe it says over low heat. Yes. All the way down to low is usually a little bit, really not enough heat, so I put it on like the first or second dot so that it at least will melt in a timely manner.
Because we're some hungry fools.
Yes. And we can probably stop the camera. Well, I can explain a little bit before I do that. So, for those of you who have seen some of my previous cooking videos, they were kind of a little bit like I was measuring as I'm doing things. I was being very long-winded, which I still am. I was, you know, not cutting away pretty much ever. So now that Mimi and I have a YouTube video together, or a YouTube channel together, we are trying to, you know, step it up a little, as you've noticed from like the fancy little bowl things that she helped me put all the ingredients into.
Yep, those were all my bowls, all of them, except for the measuring cup. That was his. But then I stole it, so now it's mine.
Anyway, yeah, she broke her measuring cup, so now she steals mine.
Yeah, the stupid handle snapped off in my tote bag.
The point is, so yeah, we're trying to step things up a little bit, and the first step in that is going to be to cut away now, because it takes a little while for this butter to melt. So, go ahead and cut that.
We'll see you soon. Bye.
Okay. Alright, so, we're back. The butter, as you can see, is fully melted. The water isn't quite boiling yet, but it should be there soon. Okay, so, what we do is we add the flour to that. And then you kind of start to mix it and get all of the flour moist with the butter.
Moistened butter.
Moistened flour.
With butter.
With butter, yes. And it starts to come out seeming a little bit like Play-Doh. Which, by the way, you can also make on the oven.
Softer than Play-Doh, but whatever.
A little bit softer. Let's see. I always forget what it says as far as...
You're going to need a whisk.
No.
You're going to need a whisk.
I have never used a whisk for this before.
It's better if you use a whisk. It breaks up the tiny particles better.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll go get a whisk. Anyway, you also stir in the salt and the pepper at this point. So, salt. And pepper. And look, Mimi has produced a whisk out of the drawer she was subtly opening.
So subtly, because I'm magical like that.
Okay. Alright. So, you generally want to do this over heat for a pretty long while. I think the recipe says to keep it on low heat, but I usually end up getting impatient and turning it up a little, because you have to get it to a boil, and that takes a really long time over low heat.
We're basically making a blonde roux, which is, you know, a more cooked roux. This right here is just a white roux, so it wouldn't discolor anything it went into. So let's say you were making like a cream sauce. It would go in there and it might yellow it a little bit because you can't help that with butter, but it wouldn't discolor it any further. Bam! Science. Or cooked or something.
Cooking science.
Something. I don't freaking know.
Anyway, so yeah, you basically want to keep stirring this, and apparently a whisk makes it better.
When you go to the next step and you add liquids.
Yeah, makes sense. And you eventually want to get it to the point where it is bubbling, which is why...
Hey Shane, did you know that if you stir it, you're incorporating cold air, which makes it longer to cook?
Yes, but it says to stir constantly. in the recipe.
Razafar.
That is in fact exactly what the recipe instructs, is to stir constantly.
Do you guys want to like pan away for a second and check out my sweet glass of wine? It's totally sweet.
Yeah, go check out the wine.
Yeah, let's go check out the wine. So this here is my wine glass, and like for a point of reference, like here's a bottle of Guinness. Not my bottle of Guinness. This is Shane's bottle of Guinness.
Pass me a bottle of Guinness.
Check how big that friggin' wine glass is. That wine glass is huge. Here's your Guinness. Drinking on the tubes. No, excuse me. I want my wine.
Okay.
Tirish.
Well, the water over there is boiling, so we can put the pasta on.
That's not boiling.
Alright, close enough. Close enough to cook pasta. And
hand me that spoon and I'll stir and I'll multitask. I'll stir and tape this video.
Awesome.
Record. There's no tape involved in this.
There is in fact not any tape, even a little bit.
No tape was harmed in the making of this film.
Yes. There's a little bubble starting to form in the roux over here. And I'm gonna turn it up just a little bit more.
Oh yeah, I see them. I don't know if you can catch that. I don't know if you guys see that in the video.
Yeah.
Let's face it, the resolution on this thing is just crap.
Yeah.
Better than our other camera, but still crap.
Part of the problem is, I don't know if it's just not compatible with the memory stick or what, but it keeps complaining that there's not enough space on the memory stick to take HD videos, even though the camera is supposed to be capable of taking HD videos.
But the memory stick is like, nuh-uh.
The memory stick is like a 4 gigabyte one, so, and the instruction
we need like
manual,
1 million gigabytes.
The instruction manual just says that you need a 2 gigabyte one to take HD video, but even when I have 4 gigabytes free, it's not bothering. So